Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cosplay Bites, the only place where you'll learn of the bits and bytes of the cosplay world, convention coverage, cosplay guests, spotlights, and more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy getting a look into bringing a character to life. This is Cosplay Bites. Okay, hello everybody. I'm back with another episode of Cosplay Bites for the month of November, and there's a lot of difficulties with getting in touch with my original guest. We're talking about TwitchCon, like I had mentioned in the last episode last month. But you're not getting one person, you're getting two people.
What?
Because
Woo-hoo.
So today I have Mink the Satyr, who you probably already know from past episodes, and my other best friend, League of Larcy.
Hi. Hello.
And this is because both of them, well, more so Mink, she was a guest earlier this month at Rhode Island Comic-Con, and Larcy was basically there as her handler, her table booth assistant.
They call me a booth babe.
She was my booth babe. We're calling it like it is.
Booth babe. Booth babe. All right, we'll go with that.
I sing, I bring in the business.
It's canon. It's canon now.
All right, so before we get into that, housekeeping stuff. Current blog post. I've jump started my coverage on the Knights of the Ebon Blade group that took over BlizzCon again earlier this month. So there's going to be a new one with Danielle, Baloo, and Jets as Lady Liadrin and Illidan Stormrage, along with a whole lot of... It's basically what the rest of November is going to be all BlizzCon cosplays, so hopefully you guys are going to look forward to that. And upcoming cons, I'm going to shoot for KatsuCon earlier next year, so we're just all getting settled in with how much the room's going to be, with however many people are going to room with us for this year. So, yeah, so cosplayer spotlight. I mean, I've talked about Mink tons and tons of times.
Aw.
And Larcy as well, a bunch. Yeah, I basically met you two around the same time. I don't remember.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I like how we both have the thinking faces.
Yeah, well, I think we officially all, actually met in person at a PAX East. It wasn't last year, it was the year before, right?
Yeah, it's been like 2 years.
So that wasn't PAX East 2017, it was PAX East 2016. Does that sound accurate?
It does.
Oh, wait, no.
Wait.
No.
PAX East 2018 was last year, so it would have been 2017. I'm good at math.
Yeah, no, I didn't go 2018. Yeah. So they...
Oh, geez. You guys first met me when I was, still cut up about the passing of my grandmother. I am so sorry.
I feel like I met you before that, though.
I feel, yeah, it had to have been way
Yeah.
later, way earlier. I know words.
Maybe New York Comic-Con? Now this is a reach. I'm wait.
No,
when
wait.
did we first meet? Good Lord.
New York.
I don't know.
New York, because you were Steven Universe.
Oh, I was Pearl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was 2016, though. Because math.
Right. Because math. Both of these girls, they like Pokemon.
What?
I'm not even joking. That's what they're mainly known for. Mink and I were talking earlier that she was showing off her new Beedrill plushie that she bought at Rhode Island Comic-Con, and so I jokingly said, along with the 5 others, and she actually bought 5 others.
Okay, Larcy, I need your help.
That's not all of them.
All 6 of them.
There was more than 6.
Well, I bought 6.
And then people gifted you like 10 more.
I will never turn down a gift, particularly when it's a Pokemon plushie.
Welcome to the pile.
Yes, kiss on the plushie forehead, put it in the pile. Welcome to the pile.
Yeah. One thing I wrote about recently is not only did Mink like Pokemon, she also liked really bad puns.
Indeed.
So combine Belle from Beauty and the Beast and Weepin' Belle from Pokemon, and yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that was a not small investment of time for what I consider to be exactly the correct reaction. I was actually upset when I premiered that cosplay at Dragon Con 2018, and I was upset, like not actually, but like vaguely upset, because I was hoping more people would be angry at me. Like I wanted to bring it to Dragon Con and have people be like, I hate you, die in a fire. And instead what I got was a lot of people who were like, yes, that's great. Or conversely, and I loved it, they were like, oh my God, I love your Belle costume. Or like, I love your Beauty and the Beast costume. And then I would just like glance over at my friends and be like, don't correct them. It's fine.
Let them
fine. One guy who was convinced that you were like right out of the movie Belle.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So on Instagram, I want to say like 2 weeks ago, I had showed the image to Larcy and was like, what do I say? Do I say nothing? Was like, oh my gosh, you look straight out of the movie. This is beautiful. And I'm like, wow, thank you. Straight out of what movie? I didn't actually say that. I will always be eternally grateful. But like my head, I'm just like, wait a minute.
So yeah.
Straight out of Detective Pikachu for all we knew.
I still haven't watched the trailer. Do not spoil it. No, you need to understand. I will live stream my watching that trailer and any other garbage trailers I'm afraid to watch. It will be fun. There will be blood. I'm not emotionally nor physically ready to watch the trailer.
All I'll say is that it had no right looking as good as it did. Like I was expecting it to be a dumpster fire.
I mean, I've seen screen caps of Jigglypuff, Pikachu, and Mr. Mime. And so based on that, I know I am not emotionally nor physically prepared for what that will hold. So I guess I will just steel my resolve.
It's pretty much Deadpool meets Pokemon. Yeah,
that's what I'm understanding.
Considering Ryan Reynolds did voicing Pikachu, too much everyone dismay of wanting Danny DeVito.
Dismay.
Everyone wanted Danny DeVito.
National treasure.
But then that Pikachu would be so dirty. Have you heard the parody voiceovers of that trailer? I'm just like, yeah, thank God.
No, because I'm staying away from spoilers, guys. Like,
you'll just have to watch the real trailer and then watch the Danny DeVito voiceover that somebody concocted. Here's
what I need from both of you. At some point, when I have decided now is a good time for me to watch the trailer, I need your help compiling all of the spoofs, because obviously this is going to be a live stream special and it's going to contain all of the spoofs that come with it. And it's going to be like that one day where I watched all 3 Back to the Futures, like back to back to back. And I was just like, it feels like I'm watching the same thing 3 times over.
On that note, let's get into the main topic at hand. So
we did make a joke earlier that the challenge was going to be to wrangle us in. So I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
You invited this.
You did. You did. You can't put us in the same room and not expect people to
Hey, if it's more entertaining, then so be it. So be it. This makes up the clusterfuck I had this month of trying to get people to guest on this show. So, worth it.
Woo!
Okay. Mink was a guest at Rhode Island Comic Con. That's the con that's local to my home state. I've only been to it 3 times. Like the one year where they somehow got Jessica Negri and a bunch of other well-known cosplayers to go to the con. Like its second year of it being run. That was shocking.
It's actually pretty new.
Yeah.
Is it?
Then,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Less than 10 for sure.
Oh, yeah. I want to say maybe almost close to 5 years of
Yeah,
it
I
being run.
think this was year 4.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, but then, like, so it started out at the Rhode Island Convention Center. Then they realized, maybe after 2 years, that it's too small. Luckily, that the convention center is also hooked up to the Dunkin' Donuts Center, which is another giant arena where a lot of events like hockey games are done. They basically just
lie.
Yeah.
That Dunkin' Donuts was a very small version of Dunkin' Donuts. They
didn't even have bagels. Their coffee tasted like the trash can. And I don't know what the trash can tastes like, but that's what it would taste like.
Oh my god. Did the Dunkin' Donuts buy you better?
Well, you would expect the Dunkin' Donuts Convention Center's Dunkin' Donuts concession stand to adhere to a higher caliber.
It's in the name. It's in the name. Can you imagine me standing there? I'm 2B. I've got this like friggin' giant sword, and I'm blindfolded, and all I want is a nice cup of coffee. But no, I get a nice cup of trash water
and some of the waffle breaded chicken tenders. You also wanted that.
Yes, and they don't have any food inside the convention center, just trash water.
I'm sorry to hear that.
We had to send our friend to Popeyes, where we don't even know how far away that was. It was in the mall.
But let me tell you, it was Louisiana fresh.
That's true. It was good. It was delicious. That biscuit, I've never eaten a biscuit so fast in my life.
Good loud.
Oh my god.
Biscuit.
So yeah, basically the convention center is hooked up to the Dunkin' Donuts Center. Therefore, it got a little bit larger. I think the one year that I went when it was like that. So I obviously didn't go this year due to the timing. I would have gone because Mink was guesting, so I could hang out with her for the day or multiple days. But I also wanted to save money because I spent a lot, in my opinion, at New York. When afterwards I realized, oh, you could have spent more. You had a lot saved up.
Well, we were supposed to hang out at New York also, but unfortunately, not unfortunately for like the event, but my cousin was getting married in Colorado, so and it happened to be the same weekend as New York Comic Con.
Oh, that's right, you didn't go.
Yeah, I was actually supposed to be a panelist at New York Comic Con. I was going to be running a cosplay Gajinka panel.
Oh,
and
yeah.
New York Comic Con is super rad in the sense that if your panel gets approved, then you get to go to Comic Con gratis. So I had already sold off my badge, and I was like so stoked to get my panelist badge. Ooh la la. But then I got the save the date, and like I was like, no, literally any other weekend.
Oh God.
So that was very sad to back out of that and to not be able to participate in the New York Comic Con cosplay contest, which is just like the highlight of my year. So obviously I'm gonna just have to bide my time and wait until next year.
Or you could just compete with me at FortCon.
Yeah, man. There's a high five I just gave you over the wave.
I can feel it.
There you go.
I'm diving multiple times because I feel that.
Yep, good.
All right, so yeah, Rhode Island Comic Con 2018. I'll leave it to you two. So yeah, Mink, you surprised me when you announced that you were guesting there. I mean, I'm not surprised that you get the guest spot because you're insanely talented, but more so like, holy crap, like you're going to my con, my hometown? Sweet.
Well, this was huge for me because I had gone to my first Rhode Island Comic-Con was actually last year. So it was Rhode Island 2017. And basically I went to it, loved it. And I only went Sunday of 2017. Loved it so much, wanted to be a part of it, immediately emailed Altered Reality, the company that hosts and organizes Rhode Island Comic-Con. And I was like, hey guys, I don't know if you guys do applications for guest spots, but I am letting you know that I love your convention and I really love to guest here. And, across the course of the year, every couple of months, I would just be like, hey, by the way, because I know right after convention's a terrible time to message people. So like every couple of months, I'd be like, hey, just let me know what's what. So at some point, ironically, it wasn't through email, it was through Facebook. I get a message from one of the convention organizers who was like, hey, send us an email to like get the specifics underway, but we would love to have you as a guest. And I was like, oh, excellent. I will just use my current email chain to continue to send the emails. So that was honestly, the staff was so delightful and they were really great to the cosplayers on what I'm going to refer to as Cosplay Row.
Yeah, pretty much is what we were. We were the main artery from the Dunkin' Donuts Center into the hotel next door.
That actually houses the expo hall.
Yeah.
Right.
Our area of the convention is referred to as the pre-show floor. You still need to have a pass in order to see the cosplayers, but basically what happens is once you go through the long line that they made to make up for snafus that they've had in the past with lines, you get to go into the main Rhode Island Convention Center space, and you instantly see the cosplayers in the pre-show area. And right across from us is the entrances to the Expo Center vendor hall. So it's like a pretty packed space.
Oh, I think I know where I can pinpoint. Imagine where you guys were located. So you were right outside. Okay.
You know that busy hallway?
With all the escalators?
Yeah.
That's where we were.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you couldn't miss us. And
I probably...
That booth was like hopping all weekend. It was just crowded all night.
Oh, that's great.
You couldn't miss us because I have this large banner now. It's got to be like 10 feet tall.
Whew.
Most importantly, I'm gonna let Larcy describe this banner to you.
It's very lovely of her Zubat doing this very heroic lean back pose, and it accentuates the white cloth. And if you put a chair right below it for somebody to sit next to, you are sitting and accentuating her lovely crotchal area.
Oh my God.
Every single day, every costume, I took a selfie with her crotch. And people would like walk by and be like, okay. And I'd be like, yep, this is my friend.
And this is her crotch.
I hear you like Pokemon. This is a Pokemon. Points to crotchal area. Bat. Come on in. We're friendly. We don't bite.
So she has a regular folding chair. And right next to it, I do not have a regular folding chair. My chair does fold.
I hate that chair.
I know you hate that chair. We're going to talk about that chair.
It weighs like 50,000 pounds. And when you try to carry it across a convention in heels and your Vulpix tails.
I
am so sorry.
That's okay. You'll make it up to me someday.
Girl, you know I will. It is a chair. It is a chair I purchased from a vendor at a medieval SCA event that I've been eyeing for literally years. It is made of It is made of wood, very dense, heavy wood, and it folds like an X.
Huh.
And
Kind of like
so,
a stoolish kind of. It's not a stool, but the way you sit on it is much like a stool. So you can.
why, Mink, would you have a chair like this, you might ask? And the answer is because for 2 out of the 3 days that we were at Rhode Island, I was wearing large ball gowns. And those don't play nice with folding chairs that have a back to it.
No, they don't.
So I had to bring my own seating. And so I was that kid who brought her own seating and was literally stuck in the booth. Like, could not get out. Like, how many times do you think I got out, like, grand total when I was Ghastly in Weepinville?
Well, we had to rush you out at least for one bathroom break.
I did want to go to the bathroom.
The bathroom was directly across from our booth.
Oh,
But
that's
I think between the 2 of us, we took out our neighbors at least 10 times each, like knocked over their stuff.
My neighbor was awesome, though, because my neighbor had, like, very little display. Like, so
Just
we
the
sat on
cards.
either side of, we were on different sides of the table because that's how seating works. And the person I was sitting closest to is a well-known Loki cosplayer. And he also has this habit of not really staying at his booth. And he prefers to wander the con as, like, his way of participating as a guest, as a cosplay guest. So it meant that he just had laid out some cards, had like some prints up on his table. And for the most part, it was like a sign being like, "Hi, I'm around the con, find me." So of course, there's only 3 things on that table. I managed to knock over quite a number of those things. And I felt guilty every single time.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but you should have seen the girl next to us with all of her figurines. And like day 1, I have 6 Vulpix tails stuck to my butt, and I can't sit still. So I've knocked over their booth approximately 10 times before they've even finished setting up.
Oh, boy.
They loved you, though.
I know, right? I got a bunch of selfies with them, and I still don't know who they are on Facebook. I tried finding them, and I can't find like heads or tails of them. Any of them.
We'll find them.
We had such a blast.
We'll find them.
They even
Friendship
helped
will
me lift
happen.
up my butt sometimes.
What?
They'd hold up my tail so I could like scooch.
Oh, okay. That is very different from what you were saying.
You know what? It's neither here nor there.
Nerd.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of had like a limited, well, at least Mink had a limited view of like the convention, but I actually got to wander quite a bit, as well as, bring in the people. And I thought, like, out of all the conventions I've been to, I actually really liked the vendor's room. It was like really well laid out, kind of open instead of like super crowded. And they had all of their rows labeled like really well. Like you knew where you were and where you could find things. Whereas at other conventions like Anime Boston, they'll put the numbers on the tables instead of hanging them in the air above the rows. So you have to like go physically to a table, look at the number, and figure out where you're at.
Yeah.
So, another convention that does that is Gen Con, which is in Indianapolis, Indiana. Not that I'm saying that you should definitely make the drive out or anything. You always should. But they've got a huge like vendor hall. And the only way you can make heads or tails of literally anything is by looking up to the ceiling, and they have the number, like the landmark number. So it'll be like, you're in row 400. And the next one over is row 500. So that's like literally the only way you can figure out where to meet your friends or how to find each other. How many times have you been at a convention, particularly PAX? PAX is most guilty of this, where you're like, I'm under the Nintendo sign.
And there's like 1,000 people packed under that one sign.
God help.
Yeah, that's a good example of not well laid out.
I loved them to pieces. I love PAX East. I love Penny Arcade. And I guess I also love Reed Pop, who took over running PAX. But yeah, that layout has always been like, oh, come on, guys, you have the money.
Right.
Yeah, New York Comic Con's layout has always been very, very easy, with their giant banners signifying aisle 2200 or aisle 1600.
I am sad.
They also separate the artist alley from the expo hall. So the artist alley sells like artisanal things, so it's handmade. Whereas the expo hall exclusively sells things that are like official licensed material.
Yeah. Artist. I think Artist Alley was a little bit more better to maneuver around. But that's where all the comic artists are, the illustrators, all the niche little independent designers. I didn't get any keychains, though. It was sad. I couldn't find any.
What? You couldn't find any keychains in New York Comic Con? I call shenanigans.
Well, none that were like Final Fantasy or Persona related stuff that I like.
I call shenanigans harder now.
I probably a bad searcher. I couldn't find any.
It's all right. It's overwhelming to be a convention. Whenever I like walk around the artist alley or the expo hall, I'm just like, oh my God, my visual perception is awful. I can't find anything.
Yeah.
That's why I'm very grateful to my friends who pre-shop for me. And they're like, Mink, did you see all this Magikarp stuff? No, show. At Gen Con, literally, I had friends message me pictures of things. And I would be like, where? It would just, my response is, where can I buy this? And then they would message me the number. And I'd be like, thank you. I now have a scavenger hunt.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I was definitely hovering around a lot of booths at New York. I would stop by the Dark Horse booth to look at all the art books that I don't need.
Oh, I love Dark Horse.
I almost bought one for my brother. I didn't. Oops.
That's great. So that kind of reminds me, at Rhode Island, as someone who was working a booth, I will tell you right now, I adored having, I'm going to call them frequent flyers, like folks who would come back after having met me, or even folks who knew me. So I had a friend who I had been chatting with over my Facebook page, who was just really stoked to meet me again. We had met in passing, but then we met again. I think
it is?
What's that?
Is this who I think it is?
I'm not sure.
Our marvelous friend.
What's that?
I said our marvelous friend.
We have a couple of marvelous friends.
The one who thought that I was you?
Oh, no.
Okay. We'll get to
Not
that.
her.
We'll get to that.
Good. We're in it. We're coming back to it.
Oh boy.
I had a couple of fans come, and then what made me feel happy is they felt comfortable enough to keep coming back or to even stay and hang out, because that's what I love, getting to meet people and talk to people. And when I get to make a friend or solidify a friendship at a convention, that's what I live for. So that was the greatest thing ever. Shout out to Matt. You know who you are. I know you're going to listen to this. And then we met somebody at the convention. Larcy, do you remember our awesome friend Betty?
Yes, I do.
We met her on Friday. She had VIP passes, and so she got to come in early, and she hung around. She got some pins, which was awesome. And then she just kept coming back and hanging with us. And after a while, she was like, you know what, guys, this is how I want to spend my con, is hanging with you guys. That's cool. And we were like, join us.
Aww.
One of us.
Yep. She was a delight. I loved her little outfit on the last day with her little antlers and her hair. She was so cute. She was
a magical creature. The first day we met her, she was steampunk, so I knew we were going to be friends.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
But Larcy, why don't you recount the tale of Marvel Chick.
Oh, she is a delight.
I love her.
Oh, it's funny because Mink and I know each other so well that I can like answer questions about her life. And people don't know the difference because I know she's my friend. We talk about these things.
That's not creepy at all.
So I'm being a booth babe, bringing in the people, and I see this girl come running over, and I recognize her because I've got her on Facebook or Instagram somewhere, and she hugs me, and she starts talking about this stuff that sounds vaguely familiar, and she's just gushing and gushing and hugging and gushing, and I'm like talking to her, and we go on for like 30 or 40 minutes. It
was non-negligible amounts of time.
We even like turned around and had like pictures and then finally I sit down and she's still talking and then she stops and she looks at Mink next to me and looks at me and she's like, "You're not Mink." And I'm like, "Nope, I'm Larcy."
Well, it was at this point that I saw that she was there. I was like, "Marvel Chick, hello!" Like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you." Like, all of the gushing that she had given to Larcy, I'm like now giving to her. And she's just like, "Oh no!"
But the good news is I made a good friend out of that because
yes,
I was like, "Don't be embarrassed," because I mean, it's not a big deal.
And also, and I'm gonna bring this up because I feel like this really invalidates any embarrassment. There was this one time back in the spring where there was a photo meetup day and Larcy comes to my house and I am going to this photo meetup as Sea King from Pokemon. And Larcy's like, can I like bring something and we can like do group stuff? And I was like, "Hey man, if you want, you could just wear my Goldeen cosplay. You could just put it on, and I'll do your makeup the way I do my makeup." Like, so, and she was like, "Oh my god, I want people to think that I'm you. Like, I want this to be a thing." Like, she's like,
I know how it's gonna end.
So it did happen. There was someone who was like, "I saw you at PortCon." Larcy was like, "You sure did." Not a lie. Also at PortCon. So I'm gonna just like throw this shade right back to you, Larcy, and be like, "But girl, you have had a history."
And the worst part is I spent that whole car ride from her house to said photo shoot practicing her poses.
Oh my god.
Like
looking at the way she poses and like doing forlorn.
That is the best
elbows.
Because I was off on the side. She was like, "I want to do Mink poses," and I was like, "All right, I'll help coach then, I guess." So I'm off on the side. Like, I can't move because I'm in a mermaid tail for my team cosplay. So I'm sitting in a cart, like off to the side, being like, "Larcy, you're giving me sad. I want you to give me forlorn. No, softer hands, soft elbows, softer elbows."
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So now she yells that at me. Like anytime I'm doing a photo shoot, it does not matter what I am shooting. I was shooting EV for Vendetta in the parking garage of Comic-Con, and Larcy's like, "Soft elbow."
Hey, funny story about that is while you were doing EV for Vendetta, I had to deal afterwards with both Steven, Mr. Even Steven, and Lisa.
Photography, yeah.
We're trying to take serious pictures of my 2B. I'm trying to look like an android. And I've got Mr. Steven just cracking joke after joke after joke after joke. And my mouth is just twitching. And I'm like, we are not going to get good pictures from this because my mouth is going to be going every which way trying not to laugh.
See, I have faith because he somehow manages to take me mid-talking and then, like, the photo looks fantastic. One of my favorite, like, close-up pictures of my EV for Vendetta is, like, one that he took where I literally was just like joking around and held up my V mask to my head, and then I started to bring it down and he was like, snap, and I was like, oh my God, I'm sure that looks like garbage. And he was like, actually it looks amazing, and he shows me and I was like, wow, okay, yeah, you're gonna need to send me that.
He worked the magic.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the best pictures with him are the candids.
Yes.
Like,
There is a candid
he
that
takes great photos, but like I am in love with all of our stupid selfies.
oh my gosh. Well, there's one selfie in particular. I'm thinking of the Friday night selfies. Well, they weren't selfies, they were photos. Do you remember which ones I'm talking about? They're the ones Marvel Chick took of us.
Oh yes, the one where I had a disappearing and reappearing per se.
Yeah, why don't you field this story?
Well, okay, so we know Mink likes to make elaborate, sometimes large costumes of like a ballroom variety, and you know what goes under ballroom variety dresses?
Literally anything.
Tent. It is perfect for a scamp like me to crawl in there and like make a home. So
Oh, yeah.
I think all of your ballroom cosplays that I've been around, I've climbed into, no matter what I'm wearing.
I like your qualifier that I've been around, because I'm like, I don't think you've been around for Princess Peachachu.
No, but that's one that I do need to like get my hands on.
I mean, by all means, you can get your hands on it. It's in the room of requirement.
You know, I've probably slept on part of it before.
Oh my
Almost
God.
Almost
God.
certainly.
With her ghastly, it is quite ghastly in the size that it is.
Oh,
So
boy.
naturally, you know, I have my bulkiest costume on, which is my Vulpix with my giant tails. And I decide that, like, the best end to this night would be me climbing under her hoop skirts and letting people take pictures of my head poking out from underneath her skirts.
Oh.
And I just slowly consumed her. I was like, nom, nom.
And the extraction process was also quite hilarious because my tails naturally were stuck on the inside on the hoops.
Oh boy.
It was an inside job.
So it was pretty much ghastly giving birth to a Vulpix in an egg
I need
case
to
that should
clarify
never
all of
exist.
Through all of this, I am wearing a mask that I can pretty much see out of. We're going to say I can pretty much see out of it. The way the mask works, it looks like it's a complete blackout mask, and that is the point. Everyone's like, can you see? I'm like, yeah, I can. However, it is mesh lined, so I can see through it, but it is mesh lined, so I can kind of see through it, as long as like the room is well lit. It's kind of like a one-way mirror, like in that way, or the two-way mirror things in that way, where it's like if my side of the thing is not well lit, but the universe that I live in is well lit, I can see. So I'm at this point, it's like the end of the night, some of the lights have gone off, and I'm like, I can mostly see what's going on, and I got a Larcy stuck under me, and I'm trying to like negotiate the hoop skirt and a Larcy and the fact that I'm now finally free of my booth. So we'll say it was a sloppy 7 o'clock.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sorry. 7 o'clock was when the rest of the con ended. It was 9 o'clock on Friday night.
Oh yeah, that was the late night.
And that was the night where we wanted to die. We were like, oh my God, I'm so tired. We had such big plans. We were like, we can watch TV and stay up. Although Larcy actually did. On Saturday, we were like, we can watch Hercules and stay awake. And then what wound up happening is I finished my cosplay instead, and no Hercules was watched.
Oh.
Yeah. We ate food.
Yeah, did I have a pizza? I can't even remember. Oh, I did have a pizza because I refused to eat until I finished the last minute details. And you were like, Mink, you should eat this. I'm like, no, it's my reward. And then afterwards, as I was eating, I was like, oh, I'm sorry I was so crabby. It turns out I had low blood sugar. I probably should have eaten before I started working.
Oh my God.
Well, that's where I started kicking myself in the butt because you came up to me with the hat and you're like, how do the ears look? And in my world, I wanted them to be just a little bit pointier. So, of course, me being a good friend, I tell her like it is. And then what ensues is her frantically fixing her costume for the next hour. And I'm like, crap, she needs to eat. Finishes my mouth. I'm sitting here and she's like, I'm sorry, I just need to finish this. I'm like, it's cool. You know, you can finish it after. You're like, no.
I'm eating my cold pizza. I was like, my pizza is cold. You're like, you could have. I'm like, I know. I punished myself.
It's my fault for saying anything.
No, it's not. Oh my God.
It's my fault.
No, you're
all the blame. All the blame.
Hey, at least you got sleep that night because Friday night I got no sleep.
You really got no sleep. You were.
And then I had to go pick up our friend while you got ready, which is another hilarious tale. Because
how did I even fit in the car?
I smushed you in there. You climbed in.
I pushed you in there.
Pushed your stuff up and shut the door. And
I'm trying to do the math right now.
You had Weeping Bell on Saturday.
Yes, I'm just counting how many yards of fabric I had. 50 yards of petticoat, 4 yards from there, another 10 yards.
A lot.
So I had 64 yards of fabric on my body.
Oh my. Huh.
She was a very decorative cupcake.
I was a cupcake.
No, more like a wedding cake in that dress.
I was an extra large cupcake or wedding cake. I'll take either.
We unceremoniously shoved you into the back seat.
You're like, get in, shut up, I'm taking orders now.
Yep. Yeah. So that was the morning that I had 3 hours of sleep. For whatever reason, I was either hyped or stressed. I don't know. I usually sleep really well at Mink's house, but I guess that was just like my one night. So I go pick up our friend, 3 hours of sleep. I'm waiting for them at Starbucks. And this is the stupid part. I'm never going to let it go. I'm going to keep spouting about it for the rest of my life.
Oh my God, the Starbucks story.
I'm so tired. And I get a text message from him saying that he's almost there. Hey, could you order me this coffee?
It was a latte.
And this coffee was exactly a large decaf latte with coconut milk and almond milk and a shot of hazelnut. Okay?
It is
a decaf latte.
Which defeats the purpose.
Coconut milk and a shot of hazelnut. So
all right.
I walk up to the counter. I order this. They look at me, and I'm like, what goes in a latte? And they tell me what goes in a latte. I'm like, okay, yeah. So do this and that. And I paid for it. And then I go sit back down to wait, and I look down at my phone, and I see this, just kidding, ha, don't order that.
Oh, my God.
That would be ridiculous.
I'm holding it, and I'm holding this stupid coffee. Okay?
Undrink, mind you.
You drink this. Decaf lattes don't exist. Lattes are pure espresso shots. They are never decaf. I should have known.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, that's beautiful.
I think he drank like a quarter of it and then pretended to forget it in the car. And I'm like, oh, I know what you're up to. I was like, I will never forget this. I never will. I even drew a lovely picture of it and sent it to him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Talk about like a con rush in the morning. Like,
yeah.
I feel like whenever Mink and I are together for a con, it's always like we have like expectations and we're really good at time management, but when it comes to execution, we're like, oh, hey, we are 2 hours late.
We're just going to run with it.
Happen.
Well, I know what happens on my end. I get the most anxious when I have like a deadline. And then just by some, like I'll wake up 2-3 hours early and be like, okay, we definitely be on time because I've given myself 3 hours. And then like, I don't even know what it is, Larcy. I think it's like external forces. Just like the universe is like, no, we want you to be like every other cosplayer and always arrive late. And I'm like, no, how? Actually, how?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at getting the car loaded up for us and everything going. But sometimes your costumes are like a little bit more elaborate than we like compensate for. And then like we end up in like weird situations where like I'm like strapping one part of your costume on and you're frantically putting makeup on or like some concoction of that caliber.
It sounds about right. Sounds about right.
And I mean, we both mean well.
We always mean well.
I think at this point we can just say that together 100% of the time we are fashionably late, and that is okay.
I mean, we're very fashionable. Although the joke was on me. I'm sitting here. My EV for Vendetta was mostly a joke. Like obviously it was a joke because it's pun, but it was a joke because it was November 4th was the Sunday of Rhode Island. And I was like, oh, it's closing up to the 5th of November. Like if I'm ever going to wear this to a convention, it's going to be this day. Like that makes sense to me.
Right.
This is like the only time of the year where this costume is relevant. So I'm wearing it, and I don't even wear the mask all day because if I wear a mask, no one wants to talk to me because they can't hear me, and I can't hear them. So I don't even put the mask on. And people were like, oh my God, I love your costume. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, this is my casual cosplay. What are you talking about? What costume? Like, this is nothing to me. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I am so sorry. I am giving you like my B game. This is my C game. And they're like,
have brought our D game and worn mudkits.
Oh, we should have brought our D game. I will tell you right now, at Dragon Con this year, I brought 3 costumes. Weepin' Bell, which I was premiering at Dragon Con. Sea King, which I only brought to go to Dragon Con's aquarium party.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which was delightful. A lot of people thought I worked the place, and that was charming. And then Mudkip, which is just a romper. Like Larcy and I have Mudkip rompers, and this is what we wear when we want to be at a convention and in costume, but we want to be like incognito because we don't like nobody wants to take a picture of this. Like we're just in rompers, like
so
like a cuter version of a Kigu. And this is just how we can like make sure like, hey, we want to go to booths and we want to like check things out and we want to like actually be a part of the convention. So that's how we are in disguise, and that's how I was in disguise at Dragon Con, so I could actually move. Not just because stopping for photos, but also because Mudkip is a substantially smaller costume than Weepin' Bell. So like I literally
Oh yeah.
takes up no space in the luggage.
Oh, like no space at all. That thing was like an afterthought and a half.
Although I still can't believe that despite like our best efforts on our like amazing freaking costumes, our Mudkips like ruled the school. At
Kineticon?
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
well, they're going to rule the school a lot harder with Kineticon 2019 when we have a Mudkip crew of like 20 people with Mumpert in the middle.
Are we still trying to like actively recruit people? Because I know of one person.
I know of like 7. So yes, I am actively recruiting people.
Okay, so maybe we should like sit down.
I have already had like, can I throw money at you to make this happen? And I'm like, you bet. But let's wait till we're closer to Kineticon so I can like actually file my brain to it because I've got so many other conventions before that. And you know me, girl. I work best at the last minute. It's going to be like the 2 nights before Kineticon. I'll be like, hey, can you grab the other sewing machine and just start sewing? So it'll be basically like how the original Mudkip rompers were made.
And, she told me that we weren't going to do them or like never answered me about them. And then I wanted to do them.
Then I let time run.
Oh my God.
Then it was the night before Kineticon.
And I get there late, okay? I get there late enough where I cannot help her. And I get there and I come upstairs and I'm like, hey, and there she is sitting at her stupid sewing machine sewing Mudkip rompers. She's like, hey, I finished one, I'm working on yours. And I'm like, I could have made it. I've been around at my house all day doing nothing, just waiting for when I can drive to see you. I could have made it. Here you are. It's like 12 o'clock at night and you're like making this romper.
I was like, put this on. Now high five my tail with your tail. Good. Go to bed. Oh, while my partner looks at us and is just like, I hate you, why?
Yeah, we had some good times with that.
That was so good. I loved high fiving you with my tail.
I definitely got to do a group cosplay with you guys someday.
May I suggest Pokemon?
To have you.
So what now?
Did you wear a Mudkip romper?
Kip.
Kip.
I don't know. I could bring back Greninja for a day or something.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Go water.
Pokemon. That's like a foregone conclusion.
We could make you a manly Mudkip.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
With a butt
Like
flap.
a jumpsuit with like extra long bell bottom raver pants.
What?
You know you love this image.
Out of fleece?
I'll find a way. Love will always find a way.
Aww.
Then we'll put like so many belts on it. It'll look like he's like Kingdom Hearts. Oversized pants with belts on it. Kingdom Hearts.
That will take no less than 20 belts per leg.
No less. No fewer than 20. Per leg. It's really 40 belts.
If you want to do a Mudkip group, yeah, I'll be in that. Put me as a Swampert or a...
You know, we have one.
We have a Mompert.
We have one Swampert. She is our Mompert. There's no in between. It goes Mudkip to Swampert, and that Mompert has to be our friend Natalie Fuina.
Oh yeah,
going to be so henpecked, while like the 20 of us Mudkips are just like, Mom, Mudkip is hipping me.
Flap, 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 flap.
And then we'll just walk around and be like, let's just start smacking Mom. Smack, 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 smack. And we'll just keep going up to like Mompert and being like, yo, Mompert, I heard you like Mudkip. You should just sit there and just the entire time, because Natalie has the best, like, exacerbated face. She just like her be like, ah. Like the whole time.
She does. Yeah, she does.
She does good. Now I'm kind of excited for this.
Right?
I could just be like the random, not water type Mudkip. Like I'll just be like a Totodile that got adopted into the family.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to like put a headband on you that's like the Mudkip, like at least the side cheekies. So it's like, oh yeah, you got adopted.
We need a flipper.
Although alternatively, we could also make you the shiny Mudkip, and then you can be pink.
Ooh.
Oh my god, is it pink?
It's like pinkish.
I'm Googling this.
I know. It's not really pink. It's like that purpley pink. Just roll with it. We'll just make you pink.
No love.
It's pink.
No love for Marshtomp.
What's that?
No love for Marshtomp.
No love for Marshtomp ever, actually, or in this context.
Okay. All right.
I do not like that.
I'll just be I could just be the weird Greninja that got adopted into the family.
To be real, it's literally got 2 nipples on its face.
Yeah, no love. Literally no love.
All right. Okay.
There are some Pokemon that I'm just like, I'm out. And actually, full disclosure, back in like 1998, when Pokemon first hit the scene, Weeping Bell was that middle evolution that I had no love for. I still don't love it as a design. But now I feel like everyone's like, oh, so obviously you love Weeping Bell, right? And I'm like, no, Bellsprout's my boy. Victory Bell's like pretty dope. Weeping Bell is garbage. Its design is stupid. However, it lends itself spectacularly to
that pun. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do all 151, you had to.
I literally have to. I mean, like, I do not know what I'm going to do when I have to do, like, Diglett. Oh, my God. Will you and Natalie be part of my Doug trio?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm assuming that Natalie says yes.
Can we wear bald caps? Or do we want to do Alolan and be like rock stars?
Oh, my God. Obviously, we need to just be Hanson. Oh, why you do this to me, girl? Why you do this to
I'm sorry. Like, this is why it works.
I'm literally already statted out for my cosplays to June. No, sorry, July. To July, darling.
Oh my God.
Most of them are Pokemon. One of them's not. I really have to finish that one that's not, because that's for the end of this month.
Oh.
I know it is, and I'm disappointed.
Why are you disappointed in me?
Because everybody's doing it.
Yeah, but mine's different.
That's true.
Also, who cares if everyone's doing it?
That's true. Oh, no, wait. Now I know what it is. I know what it is.
You also know what it is.
Yeah, I know what it is.
I don't know. It just bothers me.
But you saw the original design.
Like, just because it's like the only thing anybody's doing right now.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about it. Listen, I need to be mainstream like at least once a year. Last year I was
once a year.
I guess technically last year I was also mainstream with 9S, but the twist was that, surprise, she ain't a man.
All right.
True. There were a lot of people who thought you were a boy.
And we will never tell them otherwise. That is such music in my ears. Another. I'll have another.
I'll keep telling everybody you're my boyfriend.
That's right. Delicious. Delicious.
Huh. All right. Okay.
James.
On that note, I'm just like, while you're all rambling and I'm looking at the time, like, oh, this is going to be a good episode, nice and long. And I think I think we hit the hour mark.
I can confirm. Can confirm. We hit the hour mark.
I've been awake a long time.
Yes, you have.
I think we could skip the whole franchise design portion for this episode.
Oh my gosh, was there a schedule?
I mean, I came up with a layout.
Sunk that battleship.
Oh,
Like, the next one would be franchise design / teach a technique, but honest to God, this is fine.
You know what? I think you should name this the like special Mink and Larcy take over the world episode.
oh no.
Where, like,
That's okay. That's okay.
screw it all. Let us like yell at you and tell you all the good things.
Oh dear. Oh no. You know what? If you decide that you want to do this to yourself again and have us both on this on the show at the same time, you might need to email us the list ahead of time.
Oh my God.
Schedule.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you should probably start scheduling. Like, I'll start taking notes and make sure that like I stick to this.
No, you know what? Like I mentioned earlier, I had a bullshit month trying to get people to talk about TwitchCon that ignored me and didn't follow up. So you know what? This is fine.
Well, if TwitchCon is anything to be believed, I'm sure there's archive streams of all of TwitchCon. That's how Twitch works, right?
And honest to God, actually, well, she didn't really go because I was gonna, when I get to the part where, okay, so it's the next episode.
Stay tuned.
I don't think I'm going to get someone who went to BlizzCon as much as I want to, because I reached out to everybody and I've gotten no response. But next month, I'm going to be talking with my awesome friend Marie Gray, who was a former cosplayer, now has dived heavily into Twitch with streaming. So we're going to compare how streaming community is similar in ways to the cosplay community. So we'll definitely talk about that. She wasn't able to go to TwitchCon, but she wants to next year. But maybe that'll pop up in conversation. But yeah, don't worry. This was fine. Going off script was fine.
We make things interesting.
Yeah, you made it
Sure,
interesting.
we'll call what we did interesting. God, I hope it's interesting.
Yeah,
High
well,
five.
I'm high-fiving right back. I'm high-fiving multiple times just in case the connection gets all
That's my face.
Yeah. Boom.
so yeah, I guess I could wrap it up here. So yeah, that would Rhode Island Comic Con. And any final thoughts about the con?
Wait,
Yes. Go ahead.
it was my first time. And I liked it. I mean, minus like some things, I liked it. I had a good time. How about you? Like, this is your second time, right?
Yes, this is my second time. I really hope I get to guest for them again because that was a very delightful and wonderful experience.
If you get to guest again, let me know in advance, and I will make sure I take it off.
Delightful.
So I
Well,
can
I
go.
think my final thoughts about Rhode Island Comic Con, and this is more like a shout out to the fans listening, is if you went and saw me, please definitely reach out and say hey, because I'm trying to like connect with all the people that I saw at Rhode Island, and it was super, super fun. And I want to make sure that I don't lose those friendships because it's important to me. And if you haven't gone to Rhode Island Comic Con and you would like to and you want to hang, definitely come and hang with me next year because I love meeting new people, hanging with my old peeps, and some other third thing.
And like you could like hang out after the con, because like the mall is right down the road. So
I will tell you right now, I am garbage after a convention.
Yeah, we thought we'd be.
oh no, same here. Yeah.
Time to face down in a pillow. Like done.
That was funny too, that we like completely miscalculated like how much energy we would have. Everybody else is going to all the after parties, even people who are significantly older than us, and we're just like, yeah, we're gonna go to bed now.
I didn't
No, that's me.
miscalculate.
That's me.
I'm not a night person.
Me neither. I can't do after parties.
I think the one after party we did was at Kineticon last year, and we had sunglasses on, and I was sleeping on my feet. And then somebody commented that they thought I was asleep, but couldn't tell because I had sunglasses on.
And she's like, girl, that is the point. Peace snap.
Let's pretend that I'm hanging out with everybody. In reality, I'm just snoozing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a night person.
All
That would
right.
be on my tombstone.
Where can people follow you? Like where? Like, what's your handle?
Larcy, take it away.
My handle is League of Larcy on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yeah, girl. And you can find me, Mink the Satyr, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, DeviantArt, Patreon. Feel free to sponsor me and become a patron. Basically everything except for Snapchat, because Snapchat's for teens. Da 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 da.
And you can follow me at Blue Lightning Costs on Instagram and Twitter. I also have the Lightning Palace blog, which gets updated 2 times a week, 3 times a week, depending on what I got. And this podcast, Cosplay Bites, it's on SoundCloud, it's on iTunes, and you can also become part of my Patreon, which is free, but you can pledge if you want to. I'll love you forever. I have goodies.
I want cookies. Dude, what kind?
Wait, I get cookies for my pledge?
No. Goodies.
Oh, goodies.
I think I just want cookies. Can goodies
What do you
be?
tell me? I want cookies.
We're so close to Thanksgiving, dude. We're so close. I can almost taste it.
Oh, yeah.
Just side note, I could smell turkey on my drive to work this morning. I think I was hallucinating.
You were. So you should probably check yourself. You might be having a stroke.
No, yeah. This episode is going to go up on Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Woo! I'm thankful for our friendship.
All right. Yeah.